Two large gray gates at the entrance to a driveway. The gates swing open to reveal the drive leads up a gradual hill to the front of the White House. Then a title, Inside the White House. A photo of Michelle Obama and a young girl on their knees working in a garden. Mrs. Obama holds a small plant of herbs up to her nose. Then a title, The Garden. Shots of men in dark green work uniforms on the White House lawn. One rakes dirt at the base of a tree. Another plants small red flags in the ground along a line to mark out a section of lawn. Then a worker pushes a sod cutter over the marked out lawn to remove the grass. It looks like a power lawnmower. Mrs. Obama, in a living room setting, speaks over shots of workers tilling soil, shoveling dirt, spreading fertilizer over a large garden plot of bare earth.
The garden was something that I had always thought about. I was probably like most busy mothers. We were, a busy working family. And I would find it difficult to feed my family in a healthy way quickly. So I decided to change our diet. And this happened throughout the course of the campaign, and it was really simple things. Adding more fruits and vegetables, trying to sit down as a family and prepare a meal a couple of times a week, eating out a little bit less, eliminating processed and sugary foods as much as possible. And I saw some really immediate results with just those minor changes. And I thought, well, if I could help other families kind of learn these small changes in my role as First Lady, that would be a good thing.
Sam Cass, White House chef. Cass wears a white chef's jacket.
Today we are amending our soil, and we've gotten our soil tested. It's actually in really good shape. But so what we're going to do is add a few amendments to increase the fertility of the soil, to sort of provide a lot of stability for the soil, and bring it into balance. Basically setting the foundation that we'll build on for years to come.
Workers shovel topsoil from the bucket of a small bulldozer and spread it over the bare earth. Then a close-up of blades on a red power tiller.
We're doing our first till. We're churning over the soil, we're going down 6 to 8 inches deep, and then we're going to spread some amendments.
Then a worker pushes a green spreader, spraying nutrients across the soil. Chef Sam Cass and workers continue to shovel soil and nutrients across the bare earth.
Sulfate of potash, which is basically just add some sulfur. We have a crab meal, which is going to add our calcium and nitrogen, which is absolutely critical. And our crabs are sourced from the Chesapeake, so we're keeping it in the region.
The White House garden dissolves to shots of another garden in black and white from an old film titled Victory Garden, 1944. A man tills soil by hand. A woman kneels and plants seeds. A man and woman hoe in a garden. A boy drives a team of horses and a plow across a field. Then a photo of former First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt, smiling, with her pet dog. Chef Sam Cass speaks over a black and white photo of a young girl hoeing a small garden outside the White House. Then a poster that reads, "Your victory garden counts more than ever."
This is the first vegetable garden since Eleanor Roosevelt's victory garden in World War II. When we look back at the records, was actually had a really tough time getting it established. And in the end, it was a plot, probably about the size of one bed that we have here, that one of the daughters of somebody who worked here tended to. So as a sort of really productive, feeding a lot of people garden, this is the first one in well over 100 years.
Then an old map shows the location of vegetables and flowers planted in Thomas Jefferson's garden at Monticello. Then a portrait painting of Thomas Jefferson and a photo of the gardens at Monticello.
The seeds that we're using from Monticello that Thomas Jefferson had passed down were given to us by Peter Hatch, who's the head gardener at Monticello. Thomas Jefferson has more than any one man changed the way we eat in this country and the way we grow food. When his ambassadors would go out all over the world, he would ask them to bring back seeds. And he's the first person to start seasonal growing. That is something that people are really sort of coming back to now and thinking about ways to, use a diversity of crops and keep growing throughout the year.
Fade out to black. Fade in on Mrs. Obama speaking. Then a group of students and their teachers walking across the White House lawn. Title, Students from Bancroft Elementary. Then students having snacks at picnic tables while Mrs. Obama speaks to them. Title, March 20th, 2009.
People were uniformly excited about trying to make this happen. Today is getting the soil ready. Then we'll come back in a couple of weeks to actually do the planting. And then sometime in June, right around the time that school is over, hopefully we'll have lots of great vegetables and fruits, we'll harvest them, and then we'll bring you guys into the kitchen in the White House.
The kids from Bancroft who've helped us plant this garden have just been absolutely phenomenal.
Sam Cass speaks over shots of Mrs. Obama and the students on their knees digging in the soil, planting seedlings, watering plants.
Four of them came and gave these talks about what they've learned. It was just mind-blowing. One kid talked about how she now eats all of her fruits and all of her vegetables at dinner, and her mom is noticing the difference. But that her favorite vegetable is carrots. And just like people, I quote, carrots have a history. The kids took this to a level that I could never have even imagined. They've just been tremendous.
We wanted the focus to be on kids because you can affect children's behavior so much more easily than you can adults, and I saw that in my own life. My kids, jumped on the new routine and didn't miss a beat, and they began to monitor our behavior more so than I was monitoring theirs.
Inside the White House kitchen, students in white chef hats assist the chefs.
And also I want to encourage people to think about doing more family meals. We found that we've been able to do that, and part of the message is if the President of the United States can sit down with his family and have dinner, hopefully more families find the time to do the same thing.
A still photo of the Obama family relaxing on a couch and talking. Fade to black. Fade in on a fast, time-lapse video of the garden from March through July. We see the garden grow from bare earth to seedlings to small plants and finally fully mature vegetable plants. A close-up of a hand with a knife harvesting a head of romaine lettuce. Then Chef Sam Cass harvesting other lettuce leaves and stalks of fennel.
So far, it's been incredible. We've produced over 200 pounds of food already, going on 210, and it's not even July yet, so it's pretty. We're doing pretty well. Our first major dinner was a small dinner of like 20 of the sort of nation's top economic advisors and thinkers, and we did the whole first salad was completely out of the garden.
Shots of chefs in the White House kitchen washing and preparing what he harvested.
We actually have a lot.
Then Mrs. Obama.
We need a little more.
I don't think about this with my kids in terms of what I want them to be today. I'm thinking about who I want them to be when they go to college and when they raise their own kids. How will they make choices about what they eat when they're away from me? What will be the messages that are in their head as they think about, whether they're going to drink the soda or whether they're going to have a glass of water? How will they engage their own children in these messages early on so that these become habits that are just a part of life and not something that you have to change in midstream? So the garden is really an important introduction to what I hope will be a new way that our country thinks about food. So that's the story of the garden, and it's been quite an amazing success, if I do say so myself.
Title: Watch more at whitehouse.gov/video.